1160. Our ICTC visits in the summertime are different from during the rest of the year because in the summertime we focus more on adult education, and Kayla Fuller from ICTC is with us this morning. And Kayla, she runs the whole show over there. McDermott, forget about him. It's all Kayla Fuller, right?
Sure.
Our conversation brought to you by Marcus of Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And you brought with you today one of your instructors in cosmetology?
That's correct. I brought Kennedy Cameron with me today. She'll give a little bit of information here about our adult cosmetology program and our clinic and what they have to offer.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Kennedy, you have to tell people what you said when I jokingly said, oh, what can I do with this hair of mine? What did you say?
Oh, I said, check out some Just for Men.
Oh, jeez. Jeez, she jumps on my gray hair already.
Well, you can come over to clinic and the girls can help you out.
That can work, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you assume that I don't want the gray hair.
That's usually what people are going for.
Okay.
We can embrace it. You want some highlights on there?
There you go. There you go. Well, you bring up a good point, and that is the fact that you need heads over there sometimes, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of practice the girls need.
Yeah, and so folks want to get their hair cut, you can probably help them out.
Yeah, we do anything from children to anybody pretty much. They can do facials. We have esthetician students as well. Mm-hmm. Highlights, perms, colors, clipper cuts, all of the above.
Get them all done.
Yeah.
Get them all done. Get them shined up. Well, and it's a part of their instructional curriculum at ICTC. Tell me about the summertime, and is it different from the rest of the year?
Yeah, so during the school year, we also have to work with the high school students and like the times that they're in clinic as well. So our summertime hours are more the girls are in from 9 to 12 in the morning and then from 1 to 5 in the evening or afternoon, I guess. During the school year, they're only in clinic from 3 to 5. That's still okay. We make it work. Mm-hmm. We get them as much in-person instruction as we can. They also have their mannequins as well, but they do well.
Yeah, and of course the program runs for adults. How long? What's the
8
term?
months.
8 months.
Yes.
8 months, and you're churning them out there.
Yeah, they're ready to go.
How many people can you handle at one time in the program?
I think we've handled up to 15. Now that's running multiple courses at the same time. Mm-hmm. We have 2 cosmetology courses that overlap, and then we also do cosmetology instructor courses, and then aesthetics courses as well.
Yeah, yeah. And the goal is to get them into a job as soon as you can, right?
Yeah, look around. Everybody's hiring.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. What's your background?
So I have been a cosmetologist for 3 years. I've kind of grown up in the industry. I have an aunt that owns Cameron Salon on 6th Street. So it's kind of always been there. Like I've always been around it. And so I decided in 10th grade, that's what I wanted to do. So I went to ICTC as well and did my high school career. Went back for my teachers and look at me now.
And there you are.
Yes.
You are. Well, that really points out that it is a moving industry, isn't it? I mean, not that there's great turnover within the industry, but there are opportunities within the industry.
Yeah, there's many places you can go. You can go to work at hair shows, be on stage, or you can work for companies, go around to different salons and showing their product, or open your own salon, or even work for a chain salon.
There you go. There's a lot of different opportunities and chances. Kayla, of course, the program for cosmetology has been strong for a long, long time, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Yeah,
we've got a lot of students moving in and out.
And that's a good thing.
Correct.
Because it's a field that people are always going to have hair. Mm-hmm. We know some of us are always going to have hair, and some of us are going to always need somebody who can do that for us. And so if we can keep turning out employees for folks and putting them in good jobs, that's really what adult education is about. For some, I'm sure there are people who are changing careers who decide to try cosmetology.
Correct. We have many different programs at ICTC, and actually next Monday, July 25th, we're having our Christmas in July event. It's our open house from 5 to 7, and it's an enrollment event. So anybody who comes, they have the opportunity to tour the facility and maybe look at the program area. We'll have a couple different instructors there. And if they apply, their application fee is waived at the time. So that would be the perfect time to come for cosmetology, welding, LPN, machining. We also have CDL classes running all year long, actually.
Yeah, yeah. So that event is when again?
It is next Monday, July 25th from 5 to 7.
And you don't need to call ahead of time. You can just show up.
Correct. You can just show up.
Wow. And that's a big deal, the waiving of the fee, huh?
Correct. Yeah, that's a step in the door. The application fee is waived, and then as students decide to apply, they can complete their FAFSA, and we can determine if they're eligible for any federal financial aid to help them get through schooling.
When you think about the adult education field, and Kennedy is, I don't know if she's an exception in that she's somebody who is very early in her career, but there are a lot of people who mid-career decide they're going to change into some new field, or they're going to maybe go back to work after having been off for a while. I would assume in cosmetology there's a lot more of that goes on, that folks who might have been raising a family decide they're going to go back and they're going to do that. And so there are great opportunities for people who maybe haven't had the direction that they've needed to make those choices.
Correct.
At ICTC.
Correct. Yes, I have individuals of all ages coming in, some fresh out of high school, some that are in their late 20s, early 30s. I even have had a couple, 50 or 60-year-olds that have decided, they want to change their career, or they want to start a career.
Wow. Wow. I don't want to say that's late in life, because I'm past that category. But Kennedy, within cosmetology, I'm sure you've seen that too.
Yeah, I've had students that were in the medical field, and just from COVID, they're just done.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, one of my last students, my last class one, she worked in the heart field, and she was like, I'm ready for a change. I want to make people happy.
Oh, that's nice.
I want to see when they leave, they're smiling, and they're happy to see me too.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I've had students with children that they have to work around their schedules as well, which is also really good about our program, because it's during the day. You don't have to worry about evenings. So while your kids are at school, so are you. But yeah, all ages.
Now, we talk about summertime adult education. It's not just in the summertime that adult education occurs at ICTC, correct?
Correct. We typically enroll for an August start date with all of our programs. Cosmetology is one of the programs where we have 2 enrollments. We do August, and then we do again in January. Our CDL class enrollments every 4 weeks. It's a 4-week course. So we're running all year long. Yeah.
And CDL is a really expanding field, because that's an industry that is just desperate for drivers. So somebody can make a pretty good living pretty fast.
Oh yes, they're out the door. Most of them have a job in their last week that they're in our class.
Wow!
So when they leave, they're ready to start.
When someone enters that field, and they've not done something like that before, or maybe they've been, operating on a farm and using heavy equipment there, whatever it is that brings them into the CDL field. It's not like they have to supply their own truck, is it?
No, we have the truck at our facility. Typically, the first week, the students are in a classroom setting in the building, and then the remaining 3 weeks, they're either in our parking lot or they're out on the road, practicing everything they need to take that CDL test at the end.
Yeah. And that's a good point, too. The certifications that are available in any field. Kennedy, you've got certifications that have to occur in cosmetology, don't you?
Yeah, they have to take their state board license at the end. And then we also have a final that they take where we really test their hands-on skills, making sure they're truly ready to hit the field.
So the state has its own requirements, but ICTC says we want to go beyond that.
Yes.
We want to turn out the best at the top of the field.
That's right.
There you go. There you go.
I have my own requirements.
Now there you go. That's great. Now you said the girls, and I don't know if that's a slip of the tongue or not, but we don't want to imply that only ladies are involved in the cosmetology program.
I've had male students as well. I have one that owns his own salon over in town. I think it's over by the Ramada. But yeah, they do just as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's fun when we have a male student in the class. It kind of breaks it up, gives you a different feel.
Whole different vibe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Now, do you find, and this is probably a very sexist question, do you find that guys work better on guys' heads?
No.
No?
Well, maybe, but I think it really doesn't matter.
Head's a head.
Yeah. And girls, my girls learn how to cut a male's haircut the same way a guy learns how. Now, a guy might be more picky and he might know things different than.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, I go in and I just say, make it as short as you can so I don't have to come back as often. They never take the razor out of their hand. So that's mine. Mine's the easiest haircut in the world. But Kayla, cosmetology is one field. You mentioned welding as a field, and the adult education field at ICTC pretty much mirrors what's going on in the high school field as well, doesn't it?
Correct, but it's more fast-paced. It's a 9-month program or a 10-month program. So they start in August and they're done in June. And our welding class is an evening class. So it's Monday through Thursday from 4:30 to 9 over that 10-month period. But yes.
Now, this event that's coming up on you said Monday, correct? Tell me about that. What are people going to encounter when they get there?
Well, when they get there, they'll see my face and our secretary, Gina. They'll have the opportunity to go and look at the program area if they'd like. We'll have some of our instructors there. I'll have one of our cosmetology instructors and one of our welding instructors. We'll also have our CDL coordinator there, as well as Career Track. Career Track is a funding avenue for students to also use with the federal financial aid. It's kind of like a grant for students that they can receive. So they'll have a couple different areas to explore while they're there.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting to me because sometimes people might come in and say, this is the field I'm interested in, and then find out while they're there that there's something else that appeals to them as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we try to, walk them through each program, give them, program information, even like you said, if they're coming for welding, maybe they are interested in something else.
There you go. All right. So again, that program is Monday at what time?
It is from 5 to 7.
Very good. Very good. Ladies, thank you so much for coming in to visit with us today. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.